2023 NFL Draft coverage on Keon Sports is brought to you by Hinckley Roofing. Founder of Hinckley Roofing, Steve Walkuski Sr., with years of roofing experience, moved to Hinckley, Ohio in 1958, the home of the Buzzards. Steve is looking to build a company driven on service, quality, and integrity. Hinckley Roofing is a family-owned and operated business serving the northern Ohio area since 1958. Mention Keon Sports when you call for a 10% discount. Got you covered Medina, with everything from blinds, custom bedding, and shutters to shades and drapery. They have it all. Check them out online at www.gotchacovered.com/Medina or call them at 330-446-3647. That's 330-446-3647. TNT Construction. TNT Construction is a private family-owned construction company located in Berea. TNT provides residential and commercial remodeling, construction, and building services to clients in Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio. Pulp North Olmsted. Hey North Olmsted Eagles fans, former NFL player and Eagle alumni Matt Rothram wants to see you at Pulp North Olmsted. This delicious and healthy meal phenomena is exactly what North Olmsted needed. From wraps to bowls to smoothies and everything in between, this is the perfect healthy option for the person on the go. Stop in and taste for yourself at 27650 Lorraine Road in North Olmsted. The store is at the corner of Porter and Lorraine, right around the block from North Olmsted High School. Stop in before the game this week. And JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL was founded by the Lewis family of Kent, Ohio in 2005 to provide residents with a reliable, professional, and high-quality level of service. Fast forward to today, JBL Roofing and Construction has become one of Northeast Ohio's most trusted roofing and siding companies, performing the highest quality of work on over 3,000 roofs and projects. It's the final day for the defense here in the 2023 NFL Draft Prospect Rankings from myself, Cole McDaniel, here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. And we wrap up with the cornerbacks on the outside of the defense in the defensive back area. We talked about the safeties yesterday. And now, like I said, we move to the corners here right now. And this is always one of my bigger groups. A lot of prospects to talk about, to write about. Of course, you can check out the article if you haven't already on keonsports.com. And if you already read through the article and you're just now coming down to this YouTube video to watch the top three again, thanks for reading that story. Again, make sure to hit the subscribe button here on the YouTube channel if you have not already done so. And I'd appreciate again if you share this video as well as the article as well. Hard to believe that we're already flying so quickly through these prospect rankings this season, almost halfway through once we get through this episode. But we start at number 3 here for the corners. At number 3, Joey Porter Jr. of Penn State. Porter is a hard-hitting, aggressive corner with a long and lean frame. He's physical. He plays at an extremely high level in press man coverage, and he also displays some great footwork and packs some pop in his punches when jamming receivers at the line of scrimmage. He also has some strong ball skills, in addition to us witnessing a growth in his technique in 2022. So that's huge that Porter has improved his technique from 2021 to 2022. That just shows he's headed in the right direction continually. He's without a doubt a premier athlete. That's why he has been looked at as a top corner in college football in recent years. Everybody knew he was going to be a top prospect over the last few years. And again, now we're finally at the point where he was eligible, has entered his name into the draft. And again, he's going to be a guy that's going to go pretty high, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Because of Joey Porter Jr.'s length, he has some high, tight hips. And he could also improve in block deconstruction. When we talk about high, tight hips, what oftentimes results in the issues with that, it's sometimes the ability to turn quickly. in man coverage. Now, he's great in press man coverage because of his physicality and his length, his athleticism, but that initial turn, sometimes he is slightly slower. Like I said, on the other side of things, I was talking about the block deconstruction. That can improve a little bit. It's not a major thing, but something he can continue to work on. Ideally, teams won't want Porter in a zone-heavy scheme because that's not his strength. But he'll find himself starting at outside corner regardless of where he's at. But ideally, for him to have the best success possible, he needs to be in a press man heavy scheme. My player comparison for him is Martin Emerson Jr. I think the length, the size, the physicality all matches up. It's very similar between Joey Porter Jr. and Martin Emerson Jr. Emerson wasn't valued quite as highly as a prospect as Joey Porter Jr. is, but Emerson played really well in the NFL in his rookie season this past year for the Cleveland Browns, and Joey Porter Jr. could do the same thing in his rookie season as well. He'll be a first-round pick going somewhere on night 1, and the best fits for him, Baltimore, he'd be a great fit with the Baltimore Ravens on their defense. Tennessee, put him opposite of Roger McCreary, who was my number 1 prospect for the corners last year. I still think McCreary has a lot of physicality as a good tackler, but they could add another guy on that defense to really help in that secondary, because I feel like McCreary might be a little bit more on his own in that defense right now, in the secondary at least. In Pittsburgh would be a good fit. They need another corner. Yes, they brought in a veteran in Patrick Peterson, but he's beyond his prime. Joey Porter Jr. would be a nice young blood to come in, and there is that connection as Joey Porter, his dad, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a stretch during his time in the NFL. My wild card for him, the Philadelphia Eagles, another Pennsylvania team. The Eagles could add him outside. They brought back Darius Slay. They still have James Bradbury, but if you want to add what you have in the secondary, Joey Porter Jr. wouldn't be a bad pick. And the Philadelphia Eagles have 2 selections in the first round this year. At number 2, Devon Witherspoon, Illinois. Witherspoon is a serious contender for that number 1 spot here in this class. I was really tempted to put him at that number 1 spot because he's an outstanding talent. He's really a fearless corner, one of the most fearless corners I've ever seen, willing to stick his nose in there, has unmatched aggressiveness and physicality, and really pops a punch when he makes a tackle. He has top-notch coverage skills, coupled with solid ball skills and incredible instincts. Witherspoon also offers some special team success, which does add to his versatility. Additionally, I don't know if he'll play much in special teams in the NFL because he's going to be a top corner when he enters the league, playing as a cornerback 1, cornerback 2 on a team immediately. But in tight games where they need to play on the special teams unit, maybe Witherspoon could jump in there if necessary. Witherspoon, simply put, has a nose for the football and is a big hitter, like I said already. He's a tone setter for your defense. His form when tackling is nearly perfect. Hard to say for a corner. There's a lot of guys that need work when it comes to their tackling technique. That's not the case here for Witherspoon. He's better in man coverage than zone coverage and can get a bit overeager on some plays, but I think he's going to excel outside, or he could even play at nickel. The only thing is if a team selects him and puts him at nickel, they might actually end up stunning his growth if they don't let him get some time on the outside as well. I don't think you can just stick him at the nickel position and not move him around. I think he needs to have some ability to play outside and inside, maybe have some versatility if you want him to grow and fully develop into the elite type of prospect he possibly could be. My player comparison for him, he has that TJ Carey-like build, which means he has value there in the slot position like I talked about, but I think his level of play matches up to Pat Surtain, who is a good corner for Denver. He's definitely their number 1 there. He has the size, he has the physicality, and I think Witherspoon matches to that style of play as well. My projection for him, he'll be a top 20 pick. He's going to go somewhere in the first round, probably in that first half. I don't know if he's going to be right inside that top 15, so I played a little bit safe, said top 20, but I still think there's a good chance that he does go inside the top 15. My best fits for him, New England. I think he'd be a good fit in New England. Detroit, they could add him on the outside. Again, if Jeff Okudah can stay healthy, and then you add Witherspoon to what you have on that defense as well, that would be huge. Arizona would be another nice fit there. They need a corner at the moment. Witherspoon would probably be their number one right away as soon as he stepped into the building. And then my wild card team is Washington. The Commanders, they could use another corner. They have a great pass rush. That's without a doubt. But they can still get better in the secondary, probably in that linebacker core as well. But I think Witherspoon would be a nice addition for them as they're continuing to improve on defense. And at number 1, Christian Gonzalez of Oregon just edged out Witherspoon for this number 1 spot. He's a long, rangy, and truly natural corner. Gonzalez is really the perfect pair of being an aggressive tackler while also having incredible ball skills wrapped into the same player. His instincts, athleticism, and ability in man coverage will make him coveted by teams that are cornerback needy in this draft. He's a lockdown corner, and he wins the majority of 50-50 balls headed in his direction. His elite traits and high ceiling mean that he shouldn't have to wait too long to hear his name called on night 1. He and Witherspoon are going to probably be right around each other in that first round. He does need to add a bit more strength. Again, has that long, lanky frame. If he can add a little bit more strength, that's going to help him against stronger wide receivers. He's going to see stronger wide receivers in the NFL than he did in college. He's 100% a number 1 outside corner on most any team that needs him. I think he's going to fit in really nicely into the league. He really, if we look at the player comparisons, and we turn to that right now, seems to be the Sauce Gardner from last season, where Gardner stepped in, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Gonzalez could certainly be in that range if he stays healthy and has a productive year, but his skill set is very similar to Sauce Gardner, and I just think he has the hype around him that's very similar. He's going to be a top 20 pick, like I said. He and Witherspoon both going to be right around the same range. I could easily see him being top 15. I played it conservative here, top 20. Best fits for him, Seattle. If you put him opposite of Tariq Woolen, wow, Seattle's going to have something there. Tampa Bay would be another good fit. They still have a lot of good weapons on their defense despite their offense being on the downward trend at the moment, but they could add Gonzalez in there and really keep that defense strong, where maybe they actually stay in games this next season by really forcing their opponents into not scoring many points and having some low-scoring battles. Dallas would be another nice fit. Trayvon Diggs is a boomer-bust type of guy. What I mean by that is he's going to aggressively be trying to get an interception. And he's willing to jump routes and take the risk to try to get an interception and be willing to give up big yardage. That's my definition of that boomer-bust type of corner. And he's good at doing that. But if you can get a lockdown corner opposite of him, it helps really force teams to maybe look the direction of throwing it towards Diggs, which might result in some more turnovers for you. I think he'd be a nice piece on the opposite side there. And then my wild card is New England. New England, they need to add to that secondary, add another corner, and Gonzalez would be a good fit in that Bill Belichick scheme. And maybe don't think he's quite as good of a fit with New England, perhaps, as a couple of those other teams. But I still think that actually might be a very likely destination for him when he's selected. That's going to do it for all of the defensive prospect rankings here for 2023. like I said, almost halfway through. We have gone through 5 position groups, 6 position groups on the offensive side of the football coming up. Of course, that starts tomorrow. We're going to start on the offensive line and then work our way up to the skill positions and then finish up with the quarterbacks over the course of the next week. Like I said, 6 more days remaining. Make sure to stay tuned for everything happening on the Key On Sports YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on for when the next video is posted come tomorrow. Again, thank you everybody for watching and listening here. For myself, Cole McDaniel, I'll see you tomorrow.